So, welcome to our Life in Digital Can Captures podcast. I'm here with the fantastic Simon Stone, GM of International. Thank you so much for joining us. And also a big shout out to LoopMe for being our headline sponsor, of course, of our Can Captures podcast. So thank you so much for that.
Pleasure.
How are you doing?
Really well, thank you.
Yeah.
Day 2 of being here, very busy. But a real buzz around town. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on and really enjoying being back at Cannes.
Amazing. And I hear you've got 17 people from LoopMe here at the moment, all dividing and conquering around the crossets. So here in force.
Yeah, we're here. I say we haven't got like our own installation, but we're here networking, hosting events, dinners, lunches, meetings.
Amazing.
All around town, making the most of it.
Yeah, well, fantastic. Well, I mean, it wouldn't mind if first maybe if you could introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about LoopMe, if that's okay.
Sure. So I'm Simon, obviously. I'm the GM International, as you said. My role is very much around running all the sales, all the agency team, all the partnerships across EMEA and APAC. So I've got teams in London, in Manchester, in Singapore, Sydney, Melbourne, and Hong Kong.
Wow. Okay. I'm sure a lot of travel with that. You've got
a lot
some
of
miles.
travel, a lot of different time zones. But it's keeps it interesting.
Absolutely, I'm sure. Well, can you tell us a bit about LoopMe?
Sure.
What you guys do?
LoopMe, we are the global leaders in brand performance. So we're all about putting performance into brand advertising and shifting away from proxy digital metrics to be able to measure and optimize what's really important to your clients. So things like awareness, consideration, purchase intent. That gives us a real USP, and we're doing that using AI and very smart ad tech solutions.
Amazing. Well, that's fantastic. And maybe it'd be good to know, specifically with LoopMe and certainly your industry, is there one thing in particular that's particularly exciting or anything happening that maybe you want to share with us?
Sure. So I think at the moment here in Cannes, there's a lot of talk around curation. We have launched recently our very own curation platform. It's called Deals Library, and it curates the best of our supply with our audience targeting. Using Gen AI to create really smart targeted lists. So there's a lot around that, and AI obviously has been a buzzword for a long time. I think the challenge we have is we've been using AI for 12 years. Probably one of the first companies to use AI in ad tech. But now everyone has AI. But I think what we're seeing is how to use AI smartly for efficiencies. And I think with LoopMe and generally, you're seeing brands want to be much smarter with advertising. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market. There's caution. So it's all about maximizing your spend on advertising, getting return. So that kind of fits really nicely with LoopMe in our position as making accountability in brand advertising and getting to think, not just lower funnel. I think that often happens when it's a tough economy and then you're just hitting the same people over and over again. You're not getting net new, incremental. Whereas I think it's really important to focus on the mid to upper funnel as well that drives that lower funnel conversion. And we're kind of picking up on that and getting a really good feedback from our agencies and clients, being the only company that's been able to offer that solution in real time.
Oh, amazing. And we're hearing that, of course, advertisers at the moment really wanting to know where their dollar's going, but trying to do more with less, right? It's all about efficiency. And so good to hear you guys 12 years in AI. How have you seen AI evolve out of interest in the sort of time that you've and LoopMe have been using it, of course?
I think one is it's just obviously Gen AI is like, unbelievable. Whether that's personal stuff or for work. I think there's a lot of fear. I know there's a lot of kind of cuts at the moment with big companies and the fear that AI is taking people's jobs. But I think you have to embrace AI, and it's how humans work with AI together to drive efficiencies. And I personally, it's been an incredible tool. Like if you want to do some research on a client or a brand or a topic, and something that would previously have taken you hours and hours of trawling the web, going to different websites, within minutes, it's going to give you reams of information. And I don't think just using it alone is perfect. So I think it needs some human interaction to refine it. But it just the time saving and the amount of information at your fingertips, whether it's going to a meeting, seeing an agency, or looking at a certain area of the business, is amazing. So
This is it. And I think they'll just keep evolving. I'm excited, right? That certainly is going to be a bright future there, right?
Yeah.
And I guess on your thoughts, like where are we going in the industry? You know, if we were having this chat in 12 months time, maybe like what's kind of next?
I think there's a lot of focus at the moment on, look, I think the reality is that kind of traditional TV advertising is struggling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of audience fragmentation.
Okay.
And it's hard to get people. They're moving on to social platforms, they're moving to CTV. So there's a lot of focus around how you can attract and tap into those audiences.
Yeah,
I think another area which is really interesting is kind of gaming. And LoopMe is very much focused a lot on in-app gaming.
Oh, fantastic.
And bringing brand advertising into the in-app ecosystem. Whereas historically, app has been more used to drive downloads of other app games and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
We're actually bringing, premium brand advertising into that space.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting to educate agencies and clients that it's actually a premium solution. There's a bit of kind of old school mentality that they want premium publishers, premium websites, but often actually it's not, the experience is a bit cluttered. There's multiple ads. Whereas in that kind of app environment, it's brand safe. There's not content that's popping up. There's not multiple ads. It's one ad. It's full screen. The users are leaned in, they're engaged. They're a bit more relaxed. They're playing their word game, their puzzle game. And so we've seen, a big kind of growth into that. And agencies are now starting to embrace that, whereas before they're a little bit standoffish.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, that's so interesting for sure. And I'm embarrassed to say the level I'm on Candy Crush. So I'm certainly an in-app game user. So I've probably seen a lot of those ads.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, and maybe as a final though, I know you're very much a Cannes regular. You've been obviously to Cannes a few times before. Any advice for people coming to Cannes or any insights to the festival?
Yeah, I've got a couple of tips, I would say. For me, one is make new connections, right? You come here, you know a lot of people. All right, you can say hi, but you can see them in London. Make the most of your time here. Get introduced to new people. Go up to people you don't know. Because so much interesting stuff happens here. And not necessarily you close deals here, but you meet people and then you follow up. So I think one is make new connections. Secondly, for me, never go to bed after midnight.
Okay.
I just find that have very busy days. I don't want to be hungover.
You learned
I want to be on good form. I don't want to go to the gutter bar. So have fun, be out, seeing people. But for me, it's bed at midnight. And then the final tip for me is have an early morning swim. So every day when I'm here, have an 8 a.m. swim in the sea. Swim out, and I've actually started doing swim meetings.
Oh, no way,
which I introduced last year.
Wow.
So I meet a client, we head out, have a swim, have a chat, come back, and then go off on our day. And it's a really nice way to start the day.
That's so amazing. Joe, Ed and I went for a swim this morning, actually, around the same time. And we didn't think about having swim meetings. That's really good idea.
Maybe next time we could do a podcast in the sea.
In the sea. Oh, fair enough. Just my neck, I think, above there, right? Oh, amazing. Well, that's great ideas. And thank you so much for joining us, Simon. I really, really appreciate it.
And thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem at all.
Cheers.